So having the surgery, obviously initially before even having my first consultation with Miss Payne, I really was concerned about what was going to happen. Should I be doing the surgery? What the cost was going to be for starters, but also how it's going to affect my life going forward. And I knew that I wanted something for my life now. Even though I was thinking about my future and maybe having children in the future, which I still hope happens, but this is my life now. And because I've done the surgery, it gave me that confidence to go traveling. I didn't have the extra weight, the extra pressure, the huge bras that I had to pack. That was wonderful, and I felt so much freer to go and backpack for the last 6 months, and that was incredible.
What did you have done?
I had a breast reduction.
And how much was roughly taken off?
Over a kilo.
Yeah, 1.1 kilos.
1.1 kilo.
And how old are you at the moment?
I'm 29.
Good. And anything else that this has done, do you think, do you ever regret having this done?
I do not regret having this done. This has been the one thing that I've thought about for the last 10 years, and the fact that I've finally done it, and on the other side I can say everything from start to finish was more than I could have hoped for. So, and I'm so happy that I've had a breast reduction.
And do you mind me saying that you're a midwife?
I'm sorry, yes, I'm also a midwife, and I think I'm about to go back to work, and I feel that is going to be so much easier, carrying heavy equipment, just being with my colleagues, how people approach me, so I feel that's going to be much better.
If people are thinking in your age group about the consequences of having a breast reduction and breastfeeding, just your thoughts on that, being obviously the pressure from a midwife of wanting to breastfeed.
Having that pressure of hopefully breastfeeding in the future, breastfeeding isn't easy. It doesn't come easily to anybody. And I
Especially
knew
with the bigger
even
breasts?
with bigger breasts in particular, that was going to be a challenge, and that was something that even my own mum next to me really struggled with and couldn't do, and I worried about that regardless of having surgery. So actually, this is my life now. I hope I have children in the future. I will cross that bridge when I come to it. There are other alternatives out there if needed. There's also donor milk, which my aunt, who's a midwife, has already said, and I'm not pregnant. So yeah, that will hopefully be what it will be.
How long after your surgery did you go travelling?
8 weeks later.
8 weeks? And you were travelling for how long?
6 months.
And you've been back?
3 days. But there's been a difference. There's been a recovery whilst I've been away. They've got smaller, the swelling's gone down. And yeah, I'm so happy.
To do many things you thought that you won't be able to.
And I'm about to turn 30 in a few weeks' time, and I'm hopefully going to wear a strapless corset. So that, again, I would never have done that. So that's fantastic.
And we have a double act here. So sitting next, as you said, is the mother.
Hello,
mother.
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm 63. I have always been emotionally plagued by my heavy chest. Although friends would say, "Oh, I haven't noticed." I think they have. I think they did, and it was affecting me physically. Although I didn't realise quite so how badly they were affecting me physically until actually immediately after the surgery, when back pain, which I thought was just symptomatic of being in my early 60s and having had triplets and everything else, it was something I was just going to have to suck up and deal with, and it just sort of magically disappeared, which was amazing. The other thing that was really incredible was that the recovery period was so short. I would say that within 2 weeks I wasn't actually on any sort of pain relief. The only pain relief I needed was ibuprofen and paracetamol post-surgery. And I slept really well, actually. Might have been because I sent my husband out of the room because I said I was recovering. But I slept surprisingly well, and as I say, my recovery was ridiculously speedy. I took good care. I think being fit and making sure that I was as fit as I could be before the surgery helped that. But regardless, I'm able to exercise at a higher intensity more easily. My clothes fit me better. I feel better in myself. I do wish I'd done it earlier.
And what was stopping you, do you think?
There were several things. I've been hands-on caring for for Josie's brother, who's physically disabled, since he was a baby, and he was at home with us until he was 20. And although we had help, a lot of hands-on caring was down to me, and I was very conscious and concerned that I wouldn't be available to do that caring because of the
Recovery,
perceived recovery time, which I thought was something like 6 weeks, and actually that wasn't the case. So I could have had it done a lot sooner than that. I always thought I didn't have the time and that it was a selfish thing for me to be doing. I now realise it's an investment in ageing well, so that if I ever become a grandma, I'll actually be able to pick my grandchildren up very easily
and hug
deal
them
with
closely.
And hug them closely, and I still have a chest, you know, it's still there, and you know, I still feel like me, only a better version of me, really.
And you had a breast reduction as well?
I had bilateral breast reduction, yes.
And it was about, again, just over 1 kilo, wasn't it?
Just over, yes, we have matching.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to say that actually just hugging people is easier, and people have said they can actually feel they can hug me even better now, so that's nice.
Without feeling sort of a little bit uncomfortable, because they're pressing on.
Exactly,
right.
uncomfortable, and there isn't this big thing in the way, so that's great.
Yeah, I can cross my arms now.
Yes, we can cross our arms.
There you go, and clothes fit better.
Better.
So if you were going to say to anybody that if you're thinking about it even later in life,
yes,
do you think it's still worth?
Go for it. Yeah. Definitely, you're going to feel the benefit financially. It might seem like a big outlay initially, but in the long run, it's going to pay dividends. It's going to pay dividends in your overall health, how you feel about yourself, your comfort level, just everything really. I breathe more easily, quite literally. I used to wake up in the night quite breathless. That doesn't happen to me anymore.
So it's literally a weight off your chest.
Literally, quite literally. Yes.
And be honest, I have not said anything about these questions or answers. It has just been your own
completely
view,
from
your
us.
own,
completely how we
no
feel.
coercion in any way.
Not in any way at all.
And I think it is important because what we've got here is 2 different lifestyles, 2 different age groups, and having the same operation and what it's done for you.
Yeah. We're very grateful. Thank you, Ms. Payne.
All right. No, thank you for doing this. Thank you.